Hello, scrufftards, the occasional vatnik, and all you random usual weirdos that you find online. Welcome to the Warzone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And we are receiving more and more rumors found on various, credible sources online. Let's call it that. More and more news and rumors of 3,000 North Korean troops ready to be deployed to the front lines of Ukraine. So it appears as if Russia has received 3,000 North Korean citizens, volunteers. They were definitely not ordered to go to Russia to do this, and they have been Russia has been training 3,000 North Korean volunteers, and apparently they have been formed into what is known as the Buryat battalion, and they have been provided by counts, false identity papers so that it will look as if they are from the Buryatia region of Russia, highlighted on the map with red, bordering with Mongolia. So it's going to be looking as if these are Far Eastern Asian citizens of Russia taking part in the war in Ukraine, and they are not at all from North Korea. And they are being equipped with small arms by the reports. I guess that means Kalashnikovs and what have you. Uh, but it also kind of indicates that these guys will not be heavily armed. They won't be given vehicles that they can rely on and stuff like that. This will be a pure old school infantry unit, if we are to believe these reports. And the belief is that these units will be used as cannon fodder, that they will be pushed into the combat ahead of Russian troops, take the brunt of the enemy fire, die en masse, and allow the Russians to advance behind them, get into position to then engage and kill the Ukrainian troops that have spent blood, sweat, and ammunition fighting the oncoming horde of North Koreans. And we're seeing North Korea taking a more and more active part in the conflict with direct assistance. According to Western intelligence, it appears as if Russia at the moment relies on North Korea to provide almost half of all its artillery shells. So Russian artillery shell production is not up to speed. We know that the Russians themselves has said they need to produce 4 million artillery shells per year. They can produce at most 1.3, I believe, artillery shells. 1.3 million artillery shells per year. So obviously they need assistance, and a lot of that assistance comes from North Korea. And now we're seeing North Korea also providing meat for the meat grinder, soldiers to help out in the war on the front lines. And North Korea has already provided Russia with engineers, labor force essentially, to help fortify and build defenses within the occupied regions. They have sent their officers as advisors, and some 6 of these officers were killed a couple of weeks ago in a missile strike. So North Korea is heavily involved, and what they're getting in return is food, fuel, and military technology from Russia. So it is believed that here you have Ukraine, you have the front lines over here. Here is Kharkiv, the Kharkiv front, and up here is where Ukraine has pushed into Kursk to start up shenanigans within Russia itself. And it is believed that it is up here that the Ukrainians or that the North Koreans will be deployed, which is quite interesting because this entire operation here, uh, the purpose of it is to force Russia to allocate manpower from other front lines to fight up here within Russia itself. So if Russia is now bringing in thousands of foreign fighters to help relieve the forces up here in Kursk, that could be an indication that they're doing that to not have to move forces from other parts of the front line, meaning essentially the Kursk invasion is working. It's drawing resources and manpower away from other parts of the front line, or there's a need to do it. So Russia is now bringing in foreign fighters to fill the gaps so that they don't have to weaken other parts of the front line. And there is actually some evidence, some proof, or rather indication that this is true and is about to happen. Because a couple of days ago on mighty Twitter X Twix, on Twix, and around the social media platforms of the world, we received news that up to 18 North Korean soldiers had gone AWOL. They had defected. They had deserted, essentially, somewhere around the borders between Bryansk Oblast in Russia and Kursk Oblast. Kursk, so that is here, and close to the Ukrainian border. So this region here, around Sevsk, is my guess, seems reasonable. So here, somewhere, 18 North Koreans went AWOL, left their unit, and it is believed that they're trying to make their way into Ukraine to surrender and to live out their lives as POWs until the war ends, and then they can live their lives as free, enjoying the freedom of the West in Europe, potentially even the United States. So that means we have a North Korean unit in this area. Maybe those 3,000 troops that will soon see action down here in Kursk Oblast, helping out the Russians as cannon fodder in trying to push Ukraine out of Russia itself. So there you have it. North Korea getting more and more involved in the war, helping Russia immensely with the ammunition for artillery, now providing troops and cannon fodder, totally volunteered to do this, these North Koreans. It's a foreign legion, just like what we're seeing in Ukraine, except they've been apparently being given false identity papers, so it looks like as if they are, in fact, Russian citizens. Because, Russia wouldn't stoop so low as to allow huge numbers of North Koreans to actually help them, I guess. I don't know. But that's it. That's the situation. I hope you found it interesting. I hope I'll see you in the next one. And as always, go på marsch, Ukraine, and give them hell.